friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I have my budget update for the week. We're going to talk about everything that I spent during the first week of August, as well as take a look inside my wallet here and see what I have left in terms of cash. I'm a little late in filming this video, so let's just get into it. Okay, a couple of things before I get started. First off, I'm an idiot, and when I went to punch my pages in my, to put them into my workbook here, I punched them wrong. So this was supposed to be punched on the other side. I wasn't paying close enough attention, and I punched everything out of order. So I'm either gonna have to just deal with it, or I'm gonna have to redo these pages and punch them properly. But yeah, that's why I don't have them in here, because I punched them backwards. So this is supposed to go here. This, you know, it's all wrong. I punched them all on the wrong side, so don't make that mistake. But we're gonna kind of make it work today, and yeah. So in addition to that, what I wanted to do really quickly is offer you guys a giveaway. So I had someone that watches my videos anonymously purchase a bundle of budget worksheets, and that person asked me to give them away on my channel. This was done over a month ago, and I'm just getting around to it because it completely slipped my mind. But I thought that that was such a sweet gesture for this person to do that. And so the item that is being given away here is the undated hybrid printable budget worksheet bundle. So it is in the Sunflower Power pattern, which is the pattern you see here. It includes 12 worksheets, so let me just do a quick rundown of everything that comes in the bundle, and then I'll tell you guys how you can enter to win. So you get a budget divider page, which I can show you because I have that one here. Looks like this, though obviously it's a printable, so you print it yourself at home. Nothing will be mailed to you. It's just a PDF file. If you win, I'll email it to you. You can print it out. It looks like this, but it just says budget across the front instead of August. Everything is undated so that you can use it in August, but you can also use it in September or December or whenever you want. So you'll get the budget divider page, an undated calendar on 2 pages, so a 2-page calendar that's undated, so you can use it any month of the year. You get a sinking funds page, a transaction log. Here's what the transaction log looks like. All of these are out of order, like I said, because I was silly and I punched them wrong. You also get an expense tracker, which looks like this, a debt tracker, a spending comparison worksheet, and a patterned paper that looks like this. So lots of worksheets that you can use to do your monthly budget. It also, of course, comes with the 2-page hybrid budget, which is a method of budgeting that I came up with that allows you to budget both monthly and weekly, so you can really get a full-on look at your entire budget all in one glance. And hopefully when you print yours, you don't punch them backwards like I did. So, you know, it would be an open spread like this. You can see everything laid out on the page. And I just thought it was really nice of that person to offer this up as a giveaway. She wanted to donate it to one of you guys. So in order to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber and comment down below and tell me what month of the year you would use this budget bundle, and I'll randomly select a winner this time next week, and that'll be it. So thank you to that person who provided the worksheets for me to give away. I appreciate that so much. And hopefully that'll get passed on to one of you that really has been wanting to start budgeting, or maybe budgets already but doesn't have a pretty worksheet like this in your budget, right? All right, so I wrote out my budget last week. I stuffed my cash envelopes. I was super, super excited to be back with cash, and I told myself I was gonna sit down every day and fill out my expense tracker. Well, you saw my expense trackers while I was haphazardly sorting through all of these. I didn't write a single thing down last week. And normally that wouldn't be a problem because I could just look at my credit card statement and see what I spent. But in this case, I used cash. And so if I don't have a receipt for something, I don't know exactly what I spent. So it's going to be interesting to kind of piece together, like a little detective, what I spent throughout the week. I know I paid some bills, so that I can use my credit card statement for, but we're just going to go in, write in any expenses. The cash will just kind of take at face value. I know what I put in there, I'll see what's left, and the difference obviously is what I spent. And I'll just try really hard next week to be better about tracking expenses kind of as they happen. So I know I paid some bills. The first part of the month is very heavy in terms of bills, so that's basically what I'm going to write in here because all of our variable spending was in cash. So let's do this thing. Also, we are tracking for August 1st all the way through August 9th. So a little bit more than a week, just because my weeks typically start on Tuesday when my husband gets paid, but the first of the month was a Monday, so there's an extra day in there. So yeah, 1st through the 8th, not 1st through the 9th, because the 9th starts the second week of the month. So August 8th, or August 1st through August 8th is what we're tracking for. On the 1st, I know that I paid my lot rent. And that category is bills, and the amount that we spent was $553. Also on the 1st, I paid my water bill. Which was $33.04. And I paid cable this day, which cost me $69, and that is also categorized as bills. In addition to those bills, we also during this week paid on 8/4, we paid the golf cart payment, which we classify that as a debt because that at some point will be paid off and that bill will go away, whereas all of these other bills will stick around indefinitely. The amount that we paid for the golf cart was $150. We also on the 4th paid for HBO Max, and that is a bill, and that cost was $15.81. Also on the 4th, we paid for Paramount Plus, which is a streaming service, which is considered a bill, and that amount was $9.99. And we do have a subscription sinking fund, but that we use to pay for any of our streaming services and subscriptions and that sort of thing that we pay for annually. If they're monthly recurring expenses like this, they get counted as bills and pulled out of our monthly budget. We also paid Boost Mobile on the 4th. That was the day I sat down and paid all the bills. And that is our phone bill, and that cost us $120. If I'm not mistaken, that's everything that I paid. Let me just take a quick glance at my, if I can find it, my monthly budget worksheet here. It's this one, the very last one, of course. So yeah, let's go down the line. Lot rent, we paid $553. Water, we budgeted $50, but the amount we paid was $33.04. We're kind of skipping ahead a little bit here because I'm so disorganized today. Cable, we paid $69. HBO, we paid $15.81. Paramount Plus was $10. Oops. That's what we budgeted, but what I actually spent was $9.99. That's fine, $10. I'm not gonna quibble over a penny. Boost was $120. And then we also paid DTE. Why am I not seeing that on my credit card statement? Is it because I missed it? Yep, I did. Okay. So, 8.4 also, I know you're surprised. DTE is considered a bill, and the amount that we paid for this was $229.56. That's a little bit elevated from usual because it was that special time of year where they take a look at all of the information they gathered throughout the year for our budget billing, and they charge us the difference if we overspent our budgeted amount, which we did. So I did account for that though in my budget, so we still came in under budget even though it's higher than usual. $229.56 was the actual amount that costs, or cost us. So that's everything in terms of bills that I paid. The only other thing that we did in terms of spending this week that was not cash was we filled up the gas tank. So I need to look and see how much that was. I didn't pull gas money in cash because I knew that that was just gonna piss me off to have to go into the gas station to pay cash and then pump my gas. So that we just left in the bank, and I used my debit card for that, or I'm sorry, my credit card. Then we paid the credit card with our bank account. So it would help me find this transaction easier if I knew how much I spent or what day I filled the gas tank, but actually my husband did the gas filling, so give me just a second to try to find it. Was not within this time period, so that gas filling up happened on the 9th, so that will actually be in next week's expense tracker, which I'm going to try really hard to be better about writing those things in kind of as I go throughout the week. I'm already behind. Today is the 10th, and I haven't done that yet, but it's not too late. All right, so yeah, bills and debt, that's everything. We're doing expense tracking just a little bit differently this month since I have everything pretty much in cash. So this is done. I don't really need to highlight anything. The difference between bills and debt are negligible. So everything's been accounted for here, and everything has already been accounted for here as well. So let's just go ahead and skip ahead to the part where we figure out what we spent in variable expenses, because that's the interesting part anyway, right? So my variable expenses include grocery, eating out, gas, spending, miscellaneous, and also unbudgeted. Anything unbudgeted we would put in here. We haven't had any unbudgeted spending yet. I will be having some though. I told you guys about my husband's speeding ticket. We haven't paid that yet, but we do know how much it's going to be, and it's actually going to be less than I thought, which is great. It's going to be $135. So that feels really good to know that that's going to be less than the $200 that I was kind of expecting. We haven't quite paid that yet. We still need to make that payment. So that won't be included here. That'll go in under week 2. So what did we spend? Let's open up my wallet and find out. So I've got my cash wallet here. If you missed last week's video where I did my cash stuffing, this is my new wallet. I will have it linked down below. I really, really love it. It's very pretty. And I've got it full of all of these envelopes, and a lot of these envelopes are empty because we spent a lot of money last week. So for groceries, I put $200 in cash here when I did my cash stuffing, and this guy's empty. I did spend like 198 and change. So you can see in the back here I have some receipts. I also have somewhere amongst all of this a little bit of cash that was just like singles or whatever. I wasn't gonna put $2 back in the envelope, so I don't know if I'm gonna do like a savings challenge with the ones and just keep all my ones or what. It just seems silly to stick $2 in there. And I do have a bunch of change in here, which I'll be putting into my little change jar at the end. So you guys help me decide what I want to do with the leftover ones. Do I want to roll them over? Do I want to pay debt with them? Do I want to just hold on to them and add them to my son's car savings? What should I do? Leave me a comment down below. So groceries, we're going to just go ahead and say I spent $200 because there's nothing left in the grocery envelope. I spent 198 and change. I know that for sure because I filmed my grocery haul and I remember that. But yeah, $200 is what we're gonna say. We started out the month with $1,000 in our grocery budget. That means we've got $800 left for the month, which is fine because I'm hopeful that I will spend $200 or less each week. That's the plan. For eating out, we put $50 in here at the start of the week, and I bet you guys are going to be shocked to see that, yep, that's empty as well. So we spent the full $50 on eating out, and I'm not going to lie, it actually came out to be $53 or $54, so I had more ones in here left over from other things that I did spend. But I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not going to get tripped up over $1 or $2 here or there, especially when it's cash. Like, if something costs me $5 and all I have in my envelope is a 20 in my eating out envelope, and, you know, my coffee total at Tim Hortons is $2.76, and I have a 5 in my spending money, I'll pull the 5 out of spending. Ultimately, it doesn't matter as long as it's paid for and it's accounted for. The cash is in here to be spent. Whether I'm like super strict about pulling the exact amount out of each envelope or not, I don't worry too much about. If you're super like strict and anal about that sort of thing, you know, you don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it, but I'm just not that bent out of shape about it. As long as I know that the money is accounted for, I'm not stressing. All right, so gas. Oh, well, let's finish this eating out line of thought here. We had $250, we spent $50. That leaves us with $200. I did have somebody ask me why, if I am using cash and doing things like week to week with my groceries and all of my variable spending, why didn't I use a paycheck budget or a weekly budget instead of my hybrid budget? I easily could have done that. I might do that in the future. I just really love my hybrid budget worksheets and I wanted to use them. There's no wrong way to budget. I say this, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Do what works for you. Gas, we already talked about. I did not fill up this week, so we still have the full $300 in our gas budget. For spending, okay, so I gave my husband $60, I gave myself $60, I gave Austin $20. So that's $140, right? 6 and 6 is 12, yeah, $140. Obviously, I'm gonna count my husband's money and my son's money as spent because I don't have it anymore. Whether they still have it or not doesn't matter. This is where it kind of gets fuzzy because, like, I still have money left in my spending envelope. I still have $20. So the last couple of envelopes have been real easy because we spent all the money. But in this case, technically the money's out of my budget because it's cash now. But I still have the cash. So do I say that I spent 40 of my 60 and I still have 20 remaining? Or do I just count it all as spent and then whatever I have left at the end of the month, if anything, I can do something else with? If I just say that it's all gone, then checking in with my envelopes week to week seems silly. So I don't know how I want to play that, and this is kind of why I moved away from cash, both because it's easier to keep track of everything if it's on a credit card statement. I don't have to worry about losing receipts or losing cash or whatever, and also just because I was tripping myself up with the details of how to write it into my budget. So if I was doing a paycheck to paycheck budget and just looking at my budget in 1 week chunks, it'd be easy to just say, we have $20 left, we'll roll $20 over or whatever. But in this case, it's kind of a gray area. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm just overcomplicating things. We know I'm good for that. But yeah. So I'm going to count. I know, maybe the solution for this is to break it out. And instead of having it be a spending category, we break it out. Eric, Austin, Jesse. And I'll count theirs as spent because I don't have any idea what they have or what they don't have, and that doesn't matter. But me personally, I'm keeping track of my money, so it makes sense to keep track of it the right way. So for my husband, he spent the full 60. He still has whatever remaining. Right? But I didn't break it down here, so I don't know what that whatever is. So maybe that's the solution here as well. So take out this spending line item and break it down here as well. Eric, Austin, Jesse. So my husband gets $60 a week. We decided that there was 5 paychecks in August, so 60 times 5, right? Which is $300. So he gets $300. Austin is getting $20 a week times 5, so he's getting $100, and I'm getting $300, so that is the $700. It's the same amount of money, it's just broken down differently. So my husband, of his $300, got his 60. That leaves $240, right? Austin got 20, which leaves 80. I got 60, but I only spent 40, and I know that because, you know, it's sitting right here in front of me. So we'll say that I spent 40, and that leaves me with 260. Does that make sense? Did I confuse you? I confused me. Maybe I should have switched back to a weekly style budget since I'm taking my variable spending on a weekly basis and breaking it down that way. When I wasn't dealing in cash, if I spent $362 in the first week, seeing what I had remaining helped me kind of decide how I needed to move forward with the following weeks. This way, if I'm giving myself $200 a week, I don't need to necessarily break it down this way. So I might switch, since I have to redo my worksheets anyway, since I punched them weird, I might switch to doing weekly budgeting in August. Let me know what you guys think about that. This video is all over the place and wonky, but I have no choice but to continue with it because I'm almost done here. For miscellaneous, I gave us $100. I have 60 left. So what I had done was take out 40 and give it to Austin to go to the fair. And we counted that as a miscellaneous expense. So I know then in this case that I spent 40. of the $200. That leaves me with $160 left. So yeah, this video was very confusing, very all over the place. I think I've overcomplicated it to the point where I need to like take a step back and maybe rethink August a little bit. Like I said, I have to redo the worksheets anyway since I punched them backwards because I'm an idiot. So I might come back when I stuff my cash envelopes, which will be a separate video anyway. I might come back with a whole new setup. But we paid some bills, which is good. We did okay with our cash, even though I didn't do a good job of like tracking the expenses or whatever. You know, we didn't go drastically over budget in any of our categories, so I guess it's a win, question mark. Let's really quickly figure out what we spent this week. 200 plus 50 plus 40 plus 60 plus 20 plus 40. We spent $410. Remaining for the month, 800 plus 200 plus 300 plus 160 plus 240 plus 80 plus 260, 2040 remaining. All right. I almost forgot about my change. I have a bunch of change in my wallet that I want to make sure to get into my change jar so that I'm not carrying a big heavy wallet full of change around. So this is all the money, or at least all the coins that were left over after my week of cash spending. It's actually not as many coins as I expected, but nevertheless, we're gonna get them put into my jar. This jar here came from Amazon, and I don't even know if the battery in it is working or what. How do I turn it on? Okay, so right now there's 4703 in there, and we're just gonna add all these coins in. Not really keeping track of them on a worksheet or anything, we're just kind of getting them put in there. When the jar is full, we'll take this change and we'll do something with it. Don't ask me what. I don't have a plan for it. Like I said, we're just not going to carry around all those coins in my wallet. So all right. That brought us up to $48.44. That's the video. Let me know if you found it helpful. Let me know if I confused you as much as I confused myself. Don't forget to enter that giveaway if you're interested in winning the hybrid bundle from the Sunflower Power Collection. Details of that, like I said, are in the description box. Thank you so much for watching and bearing with me as I figure this out. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!